Hello, this is Kate. Logic got great new feature for sampling, so you can easily edit, manipulate, and resample audio files. I'm gonna show you the way to sample audio files in Sampler. If you want to edit some sound in Sampler, you can create track, which is software instrument, and then you can choose sampler here. Here's a sampler for multi-sample, but I'm gonna use quick sampler for now. You can open this way, but if you want to make the work process simpler, just drag audio file into Logic Project. If you drag the audio file to the left side, you can see the new window appeared, which is called Quick Sample Original and Quick Sample Optimized. The original one doesn't do any processing to the audio. Okay, so if I choose original, every sample is set to root C key. Even though this bass root is F sharp, the root key is set to C3. But if you want to make the sample set to the right root, right click, and then you can find retune. If you click retune, now you can find it set to F sharp. You can change the octave of root key here by dragging. And for optimized one, it processes the audio and it finds out the right key. I'm going to drag same sample to optimize quick sampler. Now you see it reads the correct root key. It's set to F sharp 2. And why do we need original one? Because original one doesn't process sound, so it's good for drum, and sometimes the optimized one processes the sound, so the sound could be heard a little bit different. I'll show you the example with the drum. I'm going to drag kick drum with the original, and same one with optimized. The original sound is like this. And for optimized one, the root key is set to same C3 here, but it has minus 19 cents. But if I press the same keyboard key C3, you can hear the sound is a little bit different between original and optimized one. This one is optimized, this one is original. So optimized is good for setting the root key. You can hear the sound closer to the original. So it's up to you to choose between those two. And I'll show you how to manipulate sound in Quick Sampler. I'm going to drag out the drum loop. Okay, drag it to original as its drum. And if you drag these drum loops, it automatically slices all the region. If you go to the classic, the window looks like this, and the root key is set to C3. I'm just gonna change it to C2, and if I press C2 key on piano, you can hear the drum sound. If you want to change the starting point of the drum loop, you can drag the part here. And here's the ending point. You can change the ending part too. I shorten the region by changing the starting and ending point, and if I press the same key on piano, it starts from here. But you hear some clicking sound at the end, then you can put fade out here. This two is fade in, this one is fade out. So you can make the sound smoother as you want. And if you want to move this whole section, you press Option and move the region. Now it starts from here. And if you want to loop certain point, you can make loop here. Go to loop, forward, and you see new yellow region appeared. You can loop certain part in the region. If I press the keyboard, this yellow part keeps looping. And also if you hear some glitch or click sound, this one is crossfade, so you can do crossfading by moving this one. And you can manipulate sound using this filter, pitch, LFO, those things. You hear the sound is changed. And when I release the keyboard key, it goes a little bit more. But if you want to stop the sound as soon as you release the key, then change envelope here. You remove the release point and it gets the sound. As soon as you release the key on the keyboard, the sound stops. I'm gonna try other sound with the bass. As this one has pitch, I'm gonna use the optimized speak sampler. The original sample sound is like this. And if I press F#2 key, you hear the sound is a little bit processed. So I'm gonna change it to original one. I'm gonna bring this one to original, kick sampler. And I'm gonna retune the sound to find the right pitch. This one is set to F#0. Okay, then let's compare the sound. The first one is optimized. The sound is a little bit processed. And the original one, this one is closer. So I'm gonna use the original one. And then I'm gonna make a new sound by setting the loop, manipulating with those ones. So if you want to set the loop, you can click here, or you can just right click here and choose auto loop. Then it creates loop region. Okay, let me play the sound. So if you loop the region, it keeps looping. But if you click play to end on release, this means when you release the keyboard key, the audio file doesn't stop at loop point. It goes to the end. See how the sound goes. You see the difference? So if I uncheck this one, it just stays in the looping region. You can change the envelope. I'm gonna make the attack go slower, so you can hear the sound starts gradually. Okay. And if I delete the release, it stops as soon as I release the key. For samples, music producers will usually use drum loops to make their own groove. So I'm gonna show you how to work with drum loops. I'm gonna bring a drum loop. And as this one is drum, I'm gonna bring it to quick sample original. Okay, you have to wait for a second. Right, so if you bring the drum loops to quick sampler, it automatically slices all the region. You can check if the transient is right on the grid. You can zoom in and zoom out by moving the mouse wheel. And most of the transient line is set to grid, but if you see this part, it's a little bit off to transient. In this case, you can just move the transient line. But if you want to have more snapping feel when you move this transient line, you can change the snap to 0 crossing. Okay. Then you can feel it stops to a certain point. By changing it to off, you can make more detailed change. So here I'm gonna change the transient line to, okay, it should be here. And I want to remove this one. So you can hear the sound of part here. You see the play button is activated when you move your mouse to the root key. Okay, so this one should be combined. So I'm going to double click this one and it will remove this line. Okay. Right, so it sliced all the drum sound. Okay, I'm going to remove this line too. And if you want to make this audio file as MIDI file, you move your mouse to the bottom of the audio, and then you see the mouse is changing with a little arrow below. When the shape of mouse changes like this, you just drag this audio file to the track. You see the plus mark here, and then it changes the slices to MIDI region. Okay, let's see the MIDI region. Double click. And if you want to see this MIDI region in separate window, press Command 4. Okay, let's hear the sound. Okay, so you can delete some parts as you want. Okay. You can hear the individual sound by selecting MIDI notes. Okay, back to this sampler. And also you can put all these slices to drum machine. Right click and you find the Create Drum Machine Designer track here. So click this one. So number of pads is limited. It has too many slices, so it will use only 48 pads. Okay, I'm gonna click OK. And it's creating Drum Machine Designer with the slices. Right. Now you see each sound is set to this pad. So it contains 48 pads. So if you want to go to next pad, you can press the arrow here. So there are different samples. Okay, first one. You can hear the sound by clicking the instrument. Okay, this one is same, so I'm going to clear this pad. Okay. And the good thing about using the Drum Machine Designer is that you can change the sound of individual samples. I'm going to change the pitch of this sound. But the difference is in the Quick Sampler, if you change the pitch, here's the kick sound in C key. So make the pitch higher here. You hear the pitch of the snare has been changed, but it also changes all other slices. You hear the pitch of the kick has changed too. Back to 0. So for changing individual samples, it's better to use Drum Machine Designer. And with Quick Sampler, you can make your own sample from MIDI to audio. So here's the MIDI note. And if you want to sample this sound, you just drag this MIDI region to new track. Then Quick Sampler appears. So the Quick Sampler samples the sound of the MIDI. I can change the envelope. And then I'm gonna set it to play to end on release. And you can set it to mono if you want to use it as a bass line or a single line. Okay, so this is about Quick Sampler. By using Quick Sampler, you can easily manipulate sound and you can change your MIDI to audio and you can create your own drum machine too. If this video helped you, click like or subscribe. Thanks for watching.